My name is Justice Batista, and I'm a current master's student at Lehman College. My professional career this far has been defined by direct on hands experience. I'm only in my first year, but I've gotten experience in clinical telehealth agencies alongside, currently working at a domestic violence shelter. As an advocate, I'm providing trauma-informed supports to survivors of many different types of abuse. My agency specifically specifies on domestic violence, but also covers human trafficking, substance abuse, and just any types of victimization from lack of resources, things like that. So I really do experience the complexities of people going through homelessness and the different variables that kind of affect their everyday living. And this exposure really makes me have a passion for this type of research. My research project is about a quantitative investigation into the effectiveness of the Housing First program. I really want to emphasize the effects on long-term stability. Housing First is described by the National Alliance to End Homelessness 2022 as a program that prioritizes permanent housing without prerequisites, thereby offering immediate shelter and support to vulnerable populations. It's important to research whether or not this is actually having that effective approach, because I've seen how immediate housing is able to benefit victims who are entering the homelessness population without their choice. I know sometimes homelessness is over time, but I've seen how it impacts them in the moment. The question is, how effective is Housing First in promoting long-term housing stability amongst homeless individuals in the Bronx? I hypothesize that Housing First will assist in immediate shelter, but does not improve long-term sustainable housing within individuals. This research study is a quantitative study. Its goals are to add a numeric value to the effectiveness of Housing First on long-term stability of housing for people in the Bronx, along with to inform the community of the effects of Housing First and spread the message in terms of how it is used in certain agencies in the area, as well as the policy around it. And lastly, one of the biggest points is to identify the gaps in resources and how the program is being used. This research will in the Bronx, where there's high rates of homelessness, so that's why it's so important to focus this community. Also, since it's an urban community with a large population of people of color and has a large BIPOC community, this community tends to be underserved, have fewer resources, and just overall less attention, causing the higher homeless rates and lower access to resources. This research will quantify the data by comparing two groups: one homeless group that does not use the Housing First program and their housing stability versus another homeless group that is given the program. And hopefully there will be a positive relationship in terms of being given Housing First, and then the stability rises. The independent variables in this study are the participants in the Housing First program, and the dependent variables are the housing stability. So our goal is to find the relationship between those two. One thing that I will try to control in my experiment is race, gender, and racial identity, because I want to really be able to focus on the homelessness in specific and not throw in these other social factors to try to focus on the research. So the reason why this research is important is because of the impact on future policy. Whether it is revising this Housing First program or adding different rules to the program, then that's why it's important. It's important to understand how the service of this program is working and if the numbers are actually there. Because if the numbers are not there in terms of long-term stability, then it's important to revise the policy and maybe allocate funds differently, or get a better understanding how to improve this policy so it can impact more of our communities, and definitely empower and give more resources to our communities. And we want to be more aligned with the Code of Ethics of Social Work and make sure that we are implementing policies that are doing greater good than not having any impact at all. So in terms of funding, this will be in total $25,000 project. It's a small loan for something that will be so meaningful in our community. I have the breakdown here above, and the timeline. This could be done during a school year. You investing in this research will be you investing in a future free of homelessness. Are you with me?